Okay, folks, it's very, very early in the morning here in Central Australia, Alice Springs. A beautiful time of the day, and we are headed for a magnificent day here in the centre of Australia. 26 degrees Celsius, perfect weather, beautiful weather, magnificent weather. Okay, everyone, this is episode 861. This is Blind Magic in Alice Springs, and I am your host, Murray Stewart. I believe our teenage boys are in crisis. I do. I absolutely do. And what is the key? What is the answer? Maybe the answer lies in understanding the human brain, understanding the teenage brain, particularly the teenage male brain. Then that's not to say that our girls are not in crisis as well, but let's be frank about this. Most of the crime committed out there is being committed by young men, and not just toward young women, toward all of us. Maybe for me, looking at this closely, some of the answers, as I said, lie in some of our own experiences where our brain health is concerned. Now, when I had my strokes, the area of the brain that was affected was the frontal lobe. In fact, I am living with a permanent brain injury, and I do have scar tissue in the frontal lobe area of my brain, and that is the area of the brain that governs our emotions and governs our temperament. And believe you me, in the early phases of this, I said some really dumb things. I truly did. And tested a lot of my long-term relationships with my friends. Oh, yes, I did. So I had to develop tools. I had to develop mechanisms in order to prevent me from saying or doing stupid, dumb things. And so I have begun to use that knowledge in order to relate to my teenage son. Because the truth is, men, teenage boys, their brains are not fully developed until they're 28 years of age. That is my understanding. And so, therefore, they are operating as teenage boys with an underdeveloped brain, with an immature brain. A brain that doesn't have brakes, doesn't have warning systems. And so maybe we need to take this understanding further, and we need to develop ways of giving these young men tools to head off and or negate bad behaviour. You know, the demons that come into their head. And before you know it, they are doing something really, really stupid that can be life-changing for them and for those around them. Or indeed for us on the streets right across Australia. So I am thinking that this is what we need to start tackling. It needs to be tackled from the brain health perspective, and just simply develop these tools. You know, educate young men as best we can about their brains and about the immaturity of their brains. Get them to understand why they are doing really dumb things. and tell them under those circumstances they can win back some control of their brain by developing these tools. I have developed tools that involve actions like touching myself on my non-dominant shoulder, squeezing that shoulder 3 times and breathing 3 times. Yes, when I feel anger welling up inside me, that's what I do. And then I can make a clear decision about my next step. And if it is to argue, no, it might be to walk away. Or it might be to try and head the conversation down another path. Yeah, that's one of the mechanisms that I use. And so maybe, just maybe, this is how we need to begin to tackle the crisis with our young boys. Clearly understand we are dealing with young men with immature brains, underdeveloped brains. And so therefore, they are not always in control of the stupid things that some of our boys are doing. So as I say, that's still not okay. That's still not okay. We need to teach them to win back control of their out of control minds, their immature minds, and in doing so, biding time for their brain to mature, to develop. In other words, to grow up. And let's hope they can continue winning back control until such time as they are older and their brain is in a position to guide them down the right path, to not make decisions that can destroy their life and the life of others. Anyway, that's just a thought, everyone. That is just a thought. I'm certainly going to tackle things with my teenage boy from exactly this perspective. I will be having a conversation with him tonight, as a matter of fact, about this very, very issue. This is episode 861, and this has been a Blind Magic Communications production.